Excuse my foreign approach, but there are words in my native language that are difficult to translate. One of these is cincischiare. As discussed, our effort going forward is that of becoming a bit more direct and avoid mucking about in the middle of the park, forcing a build up that is, in my opinion, delaying our effectiveness going forward. Let's look at one example from our game against Craigieburn. They go direct. We clear it, and then we sort of recover the ball in the middle of the park. And our first touch is to play the ball back into this pocket. When, in my opinion, we should instead immediately trying to play forward, skipping what I often refer to as the first line. Only a couple of minutes later, we are attempting to play out from the back. We are sort of mucking about a little bit, but we are building up, but we are also attracting a lot of attention. We are retaining possession, which is one thing that you can keep doing. But let me show you something. This is something good. So we got one of the forwards dropping to provide support. Now, the next ball here shouldn't go across the park and again keep us into this middle area. In my opinion, it should either go back and then go forward. So in this case, because our right winger dropped, the next ball should be out wide, or yes, indeed, here for Yusuke. Or as I said, yes, with the blue lines, you go back and you go forward, or again, in this case, I think it was Cody, we can hit the wide area, or even better, when our right winger makes this movement, it's short, and then he can make a quick 130 degrees turn and attack this area again. Now, in this case, it must be said he's got two players, so the best solutions, yes, would have been out wide here or here in the center. A good example of what we can do is the following. So in this case, there are quick transitions, negative, positive, positive, negative, in the middle of the park. So Petreski wins the ball well. Nice tackle. Now we can go forward. Now have a look. This is good. We can go wide. And this is what we were practicing on Tuesday. Okay, a ball is played directly vertical forward, which is what I'd like to see a bit more often. And yes, it's very likely to be intercepted, but it's pushing the opposition back. So again, I'd like to see a bit more of these. Of course, the pass across could have been handled a bit better by Yusuke. Now, if we go back again, in the future, what I'd like to have is, and this is why we were practicing that on Tuesday, I'd like to have two bodies here, two players providing that support. So would have a bit more of a chance of bouncing the ball back, and as we usually do, as I said, forward, back, and then bam, into space. One other important aspect that we looked at on Tuesday night is also the opportunity when we go forward and back to then play into space, is that will give us the opportunity to have our fullbacks attacking the wide areas. Let's not forget that, and let's start using that as an opportunity. Now, obviously, when that happens, we need to ensure that whoever is left as a second line in the middle of the park needs to watch and be able eventually to even come across and cover for the fullback that's just made that run, or drop into the defense and have the back four having a bit more space between one another. So for tomorrow night, there are a couple of reasons why I'd like to go with a 4-4-1-1 type of solution. Reason number one is for what you've just seen. I'd like when we go into space, when we play that ball forward into the final third, as we will also practice tonight at training, hopefully, if I can secure two goalkeepers, is to have those two providing two bodies, two targets for us to play onto. The second reason is instead because of this report that I got. Excuse the mistake; it's obviously not Albion Rangers, but Albion Rovers. And they seem to be using the fullback, especially on the left hand side, to attack. So not to expose our fullbacks. It becomes very, very important if we could go into 4-4-1 formation. So to ensure that this player doesn't have an easy ride down our wide area. In the game we played in the cup, they were doing that a lot on the left hand side. So we'll have to watch out for that.